Hello, anyone watching on stream. I hope you enjoyed that. Hi, I'm putting the draft up. I don't know. It'll be a second before I can actually cast anything. I thought the game was at 7 CST, and it is at 7 EST. So we've missed game 1. I'm waiting on Olvander, who is supposed to be here in 3 minutes. So hopefully he'll be here in just a second and we can have the full cast. We missed, I saw 15-0-1 Zeri, which doesn't seem particularly good for the boys. But they lost game 1. We're going into game number 2. You can see the draft up on the screen. Melio Lucian, that's the correct side. Okay, I did swap it. The names are correct, but the logos are wrong. Hold on. Okay. Now everything's right. I gotta flip it in client. We're gonna have to catch Olvander up as soon as he gets here with everything. It's a little hectic, but we'll make it work. We'll get game 2 and hopefully 3. Fingers crossed. All straightened out. So Diversity has Senna, Seraphine, Gwen, and Kindred. Rodham has Melio Lucian. The next craze is Ari. We're looking for something for Vbon, potentially, who... I don't know if he's looking for something with priority or looking to play safe. These are some interesting picks. These are things that we haven't seen him on traditionally, especially because Orin is up. But it's going to be set locked in, which is very interesting. Hello!
Hello.
Hello, I fucked up.
Oh?
The game started at 6 p.m. CST. That's 7 Eastern. So This is game 2. We're just jumping in the middle of everything.
I'm also patching.
Oh no! Well,
we're like a quarter of the way there. I'm almost patched.
I can send you a draft link. They're almost done with the draft. Miguel sent it to me. Where did he send it? There it is. Okay.
This is, in literature, they would call this in medias res. Just, skip the boring prelude.
Nico last pick.
Nico is best decision.
So, yeah, we have the full teams available for you to parse as soon as you get in. And then hopefully you can get in, we can get Chimmy in, and then we can start game 2. There's Olvander. Perfect. In lobby, and then jump down here.
I know. Come on, League of Legends client.
Yeah? Okay.
There we go. I had to
Jesus.
Out of it so that it would let me... I couldn't see it. It did the thing where it's like, here, you're in the party, have a blank screen.
It was funny because you just came into the lobby and then just sat there in the spot. Like, yeah, I'm support now. You'd be playing Melio, so it wouldn't be terrible, probably. Anyway, it's 1-0 Diversity Esports. there was a 15-0 Zeri. That's about as much recap as I really had. I watched the Nexus explode on, I think it was Rambo was streaming. I don't know who on Diversity was streaming, but I watched the Nexus explode basically on the screen and then jumped in here.
And now here we are.
And now here we are.
We get a Milio game, finally.
Yeah. The stakes are very high for this game. All right. So we'll set this up as you can see the drafts on screen. We can talk about them eventually. I think that's much less interesting than the fact that Rodham now are on Death's Door. One more loss, they're eliminated from the season, eliminated from the playoffs. Diversity is in no threat. They're basically here for seeding. I think if they win, they have a chance at the #1 seed, depending on other results. But Rodham needs this win to stay alive. If they lose, they're eliminated. And this is also game number 2 of Pride Month. Every kill gets donated to charity. We're at 81 cents per kill right now that's been pledged. If you're interested in contributing, please check out our Discord or just message Lane or myself and we can get you in.
Or just Venmo me, that also works. That is in fact supporting the LGBTQ community in Pride Month.
That's another solution potentially. So nice. They're asking if I'm ready. I don't care if I'm ready, so they've not had me as a caster before. But we weren't ready for the series to start, so maybe I'll let them know that. Maybe we'll get a redo on game 1. I don't know. But regardless, Zeri very strong, got banned, popped off. Now Diversity put their big carry player on Senna or Seraphine.
Interesting. It could. I mean, Senna does do Senna things.
I like their team comp from a team comp perspective. I don't know about. Again, didn't see the game play out. Maybe it was the rest of the team playing around them and Zeri just last hit everything, because that's what happens sometimes. But, it feels weird to take your big carry player from the last game and then stick them kind of in a more supportive role. But they have a lot of tools. Or maybe we're getting something a little special, because that's Seraphine.
Or are we getting Nico support?
We're getting Nico support potentially, or Nico AD would be another option. On-hit Nico is very funny. I don't know if it's super good, but it's very funny right now. And that's what matters. There was a clip on Reddit yesterday of...
I remember when that was a thing, off lane, and people hated that for a while.
Yeah.
Is she back?
I played against it, and it didn't seem very good, but, that doesn't mean anything. It was a one-game sample size and, gold-ish elo. But there's a clip on Reddit of a guy turning into a cannon minion and getting a triple kill as the cannon minion.
As one does.
So maybe that's the strat. Or, again, it could just be Nico's support, and the AD player is going to play Senna, which is the way that they're lined up right now. Whether they still can swap, that's not illegal by any means, but...
I mean, you can also still... AD player can play Senna with support item.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of options available. I think I'm more interested... I don't want to say I'm more interested, but sending the Seraphine mid against the Ahri feels a little bit risky. I think Ahri can actually take advantage of that matchup the way that they play out right now. I think that was a solid idea, because Seraphine's healing and shielding and ability to nuke the wave was so much that Ahri couldn't really compete with it. But now I think Ahri's got a little bit more damage and has a chance in that matchup to really make some plays.
Yeah, we'll just wait until DFG comes back. It's like the last OG item that we're missing. That'll be the ultimate, what durability patch? We've given AP Assassins DFG again.
We really wanted to finally give mages item diversity, so here's DFG.
Of all the weird items that did a lot of damage, I never had the biggest problem with DFG. It was a little silly when, Syndra's combo became press DFG, press R, and you died. That was a little cool sometimes.
See, I thought the intended cases were really good. Like, it feels like a worthwhile item to have on like Fizz and Veigar, champions like that, where it's just multiplying burst and it makes them, like, it gives them some sort of early game punch that they might need. It was not good when AP Tristana was a thing and could just one-shot you at level 1.
You didn't like AP Tristana with her original where DFG was point and click and her E was point and click? Congratulations, you're dead now.
Yeah. That was very interactive gameplay times, but we're in the present day here. So, we got Lucian Melio, which is a really strong lane against the Senna Nico. A little bit more of a defensive lane, you would imagine.
I don't know. Lucian Melio's an interesting lane because, I mean, I think it can work very well depending on... Well, Lucian, early lane bully, and Melio usually wants to scale, but honestly, Lucian procs his passive well enough that you can still be a very annoying early game lane bully and just sort of hope to snowball that into, you know, commit a little domestic abuse, because we do have husband v wife in the bot lane.
I also think it's interesting Vibon is playing Set, which isn't a character I think I've ever seen him play. I've seen a lot of Vibon games in my time. Boy, have we been through the trenches in terms of Vibon games, but he usually opts for tankier champions if you're gonna go something damagey. I've seen him play Kennen once or twice. I've seen him play a couple of champions. I don't think I've ever seen him play Set. Like the bruisers seem like a skip over. He usually will head straight to a more carry style champion that's a little easier to execute once his beloved tanks are taken away. And you don't even see that pressure toward him, right? The Malphite's the only one that's taken away. So there's no Ornn gone, there's no Scion gone. I just think it's very interesting, especially in an elimination game, to pull that out.
It is also maybe the first game that we've cast where, like, there wasn't that much pressure put on his champion pool, because usually it's at least 2, if not 3 top lane tank bans.
Yeah, Shen, also unbanned, notably. He's played a bit of Cassante, I've seen. He's played Poppy. It's just weird to skip completely over all of those, and now we're on to Set, I guess. So,
you know, I'm never sad when Set is on my screen though, so I won't complain.
He did play Ornn last game. Okay, I have the match history pulled up now.
Okay.
On OPGG. So 17-0-5 on the Zeri. They did play the
fine.
They played the Seraphine mid, so that's a repeat for Rambo. Hold on, I've got to flip this scoreboard. I'm still moving into game. Am I missing anything on stream? There you go. So yeah, 17-0-5 on the Zeri. That's most of it, but top lane Kayle, 7-1-14 against the Ornn, kind of isolated. So maybe that's the consideration, is trying to avoid a Kayle matchup. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. Oh, Zadok's played his Lee Sin last game, and I didn't get to see it. It also didn't go well, so maybe it's better that I didn't get to see it. But he's on the Viego this time, which is like new Lee Sin, almost. It feels like a lot of the Lee Sin players kind of adopted Viego because he's actually good right now.
And he's also Viego fun champion to watch. As far as like new champions go, I like Viego gameplay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Viego and Lucian on the same team working against Senna. That's kind of strange.
Also, it is Senna's support item, which means it is farming Nico. She has started Doran's ring.
Interesting. So Kronos will be getting the lion's share of the farm. I'm gonna flip them on the scoreboard so that we have a slightly more accurate view of the gold that's happening down there. Oh, Vibon has the purple. Look at these guys. The chromas.
Oh.
That's what you are really looking for.
But it's the not cute Set skin.
I like this skin. I don't like that chroma very much, but...
I don't dislike the skin. It's just disappointing when he's a robot.
Yeah, doesn't show off the abs as much. I'm just completely frozen at 130. I hope
Same.
that's okay.
All right.
We're 134, 35. Hopefully that's
Yep.
about the same time. Cool. Um, always good to check. Unfortunately, right? Spectator, no, doing great. This time of year. I had to make sure that they have it spot in the lobby for you because you actually just can't spectate from outside the lobby. It's very bugged right now. They don't have a note
Cool.
about it for some reason, but you would think that they know. Anyway, a lot of trading early on between these two teams. There's not like big damages happening, but it's a lot of individual abilities being thrown across the gap, and you can see that I think both teams are really wanting to make that early play and get that early lead. Little root going down onto Blazing Cake. Chimmy's in the bush, just layering in some auto attacks, but the piercing darkness healing is going to make that a good trade for Lucy Heartful Philia? Oh my god.
I think it's Heartfilia. Yeah, Senna, so if you're doing the support matchups, which was a bit odd to talk about when we didn't know, was Senna going to farm, or, but granted, Senna usually does better when she is in fact just farming souls, which is what they've gone with. Senna pretty good into Milio because she should out-trade him at almost every point, especially in the early game. It's part of why, Lucian Milio can be very good, but it's not quite the same as like Lucian Nami in terms of nobody is going to win a fight with you with level 1 or level 2. Senna, very, very strong trade pattern because you auto them and Q them, and between your Q and fleet footwork, you basically take no damage in return.
Yeah, maybe not a good sign if you're a Rodham fan that these lanes that we had tabbed as potentially winning almost across the board, all losing, all getting shoved in very early. A lot of damage coming down onto Lucy, though. Zadox is here, gonna look for the stun. I'm assuming it'll get flashed. It doesn't get flashed. It's first blood for Chimmy.
Oh, there we go. That was, well, that is what can happen as Senna. You're not a very mobile champion, and when you're playing up to get that poke, it's left pretty vulnerable to the Viego gank there. Did hold flash though, so
Yeah, maybe to the detriment, I would say. I think that there were opportunities to flash out of there, but
it's always a hard one because you don't really want to flash. You don't want to flash at any point before Viego has even channeled his W.
yeah.
And then he could potentially follow you.
Yeah, but then I don't think Lucian and Milio throw in their flashes. I think you're fine, but maybe I'm naive about that one. These players are much better than I am, so hard for me to second guess what they're doing out there. But
You are a very squishy Senna, and they also, interestingly enough, don't have a heal. We have Ignite Exhaust
Ignite
between. Yeah, which I think if you have heal there, heal's a great thing to burn, but that was not an option.
Yeah. Alex Kimmy is going to grab the first mark of the game. Didn't 50-50 the Scuttle Crabs, just got both of them.
You know, easy.
Yeah.
Just
the cost of doing the gank in the bottom lane, Zadox will probably be fine with that because that's kind of what you plan.
Gwen is immune.
Yeah, that's a really good W barrier there from Gwen, just outside of the Haymaker range from Vbon.
The sad thing about a farming Nico, we don't get to see her turn into much.
Eventually we will. I'm sure there will be some shenanigans afoot, but I feel a little bad right now if I'm the Lucian. Right? It's very hard to get in on either of these champions, and if you get hit by the W from Senna or the Tangle Barbs from Nico, you can chain them into the other one and just be rooted for forever, which is kind of the arch enemy of Lucian, is standing still.
Yeah, I think that's the arch enemy of most ADCs.
I think more so for Lucian, though, because he likes moving around the fight, and his movement gives him more shots, which gives him more damage, which gives him more movement. Zadox has somehow snuck in here. I don't know if they're completely unaware, but now Lucy's just trying to get away in Wraith form. Oh, it's the Nico clone that gets stunned. Just the little positioning there from Kronos was able to block the W from Xanax and prevent the otherwise successful gank.
Although both held flash again, so we still have 2 flashes for what's their non-Rodham team?
Diversity Esports.
Their bot lane still has both flashes up.
Yeah.
Well,
Look at Alex. He's just he goes over the wall behind Zadox. I don't know if Zadox saw him, but now is in enemy territory. Now is going to be known as he hits the scrying plant. But the immediate Zadox is going to back right here, or I'm going to find him in his jungle and kill him. He's going to pick up his second mark of the game. Charm going to land from X-Craze. I don't know that they have the damage. A nice encore from Rambo trying to get Alex out. He still has Kindred ult, but the Tangle Barbs come through from Kronos. Zadox is able to join the fight, but Blazing Cake has already fallen. What target does he pick? He goes in for the Senna, but there's the Lamb's Respite. There's no level 6s available for ROTM, and it's going to go terribly. It's a double kill for Alex Kimmy version 2, and a double kill for Kronos.
There was some really nice coordination between Senna and Kindred, where at first I just thought Lucy Heartfilia flashed the wrong way, but actually flashed into the Kindred alt range, which I think is definitely the correct thing there, because I think Viego just follows you. You don't have a nice wall to flash over, so flash to the safety of, what is it, Lamb's Respite? Respite, everyone wants to say that.
And the two ultimates had versus the one ultimate just pay so much dividend. It was a good stalling Seraphine ult to kind of reset everything and gather everyone up in the river, and then the Lamb's Respite was perfectly timed in order to really thwart what Rodham wanted to do. They weren't able to turn any ults on themselves because they didn't have any. Now X-Craze has his Soul Rush up, which was unused during that fight, and Zadox will grab his Heartbreaker after he clears his blue buff. So there's a dangerous moment now, but you've already got your kills, you've already got your dragon, there's nothing really to fight for.
Yeah, now you just chill and try not to fight until you have your cooldowns back up. Although
it feels like this could be a time for a Rift Herald, which they're sensing. Rambo's wandered down to bottom lane while X-Craze has gone up toward that Rift Herald. Lil Fizzy's trying to bait V-Bon here. Now uses the ult, just trying to get some of the needles through. The big shield from V-Bon's Haymaker is enough to get him away for the time being. He's got the ult to try to take him into turret if he really gets a little too antsy, but Alex isn't going to really get involved. Rift Herald's going to go over to Xanox for the time being. Chimmy, nice sidestep on the W, and he's fine.
Fancy feet. Let's do the Senna stack check. We are at 37 at 9 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's.
Oh no, V-Bon. He feels his time is now, but it is not, because Alex Kimmy's still waiting in the bush, and now 3-0-2 on the Kindred. He's headed for Trinity Force, which I know is gaining some traction on a lot of champions right now.
We should have known. A Freak patch and Trinity Force not being good.
Tons of damage.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. How many marks? That's 3 still. I don't know who he has marked currently, but 1 away from the big extra damage.
Ari marked.
Has Ari marked right now. So Ari plus the Raptors right now. Oh, X-Craze is going to find Rambo already in his jungle. Immediate cleanse used. Just.
Oh no.
You can see Rodham just trying to make the plays. They feel like their backs are against the wall, and it's just not their day so far.
There's just always a Kindred in the bush. That's the second time that we've seen it. Started well until the surprise Kindred appeared.
Yeah, and now that's 4 stacks, so Kindred's even more threatening on top of having the 3-0-3. It's scary times for Return of the Middlesticks. They really need to find their positive play, find their foothold in the game. Maybe this is it from Xanox as he's waiting. Oh, it was perfectly known by Kindred. He's got the ult still available. The Heartbreaker away from Xanox, culling over the wall, doing a little bit of damage to soften up Alex Kimmy, but there's really no way for RTM to return the damage.
I know and if we were worried, if you were worried that Senna wasn't quite the hyper carry angle that Azeri would have been, they brought Kindred.
Yeah, a little Fizzy, pretty close fight. The extra healing is maybe enough. V-Bon still wants it. Feeling himself, but yeah, it has to back off now. That's had the fully stacked up Q. I don't think you can fight into that right now if you're V-Bon. He's got to hit the regen for a bit.
Yeah, it's a wee bit tragic.
That's a tough
You know,
road out there. X-Craze is looking for a little fizzy. Oh, gets the charm into the W zone. Do they actually have the damage to finish him off? In comes the Senna ult to keep him alive. They take down X-Craze. Little Fizzy and Zadox just autoing each other. The flash over the Q. It doesn't matter. Little Fizzy wins with the help of Rambo over the wall. V-Bon can't get in. It's a double kill for Rambo. The Q from Melio isn't quite there. Sails over the goal, and ROTM is now just, it's hard. This is a rough one.
It's
That was so close to being good so many times, but instead it just continued to go more and more wrong. Everything falling for Diversity Esports thus far.
Yeah, and that was a very well aimed Senna ult where the damage came through, which made a difference, and the shield, of course, lands. It was well aimed, but very tragic for RTM. Oh, are we taunting now? That's just rude.
Zadox still trying to make something happen, and that something's going to be a Rift Herald drop in mid lane to get a little bit of money onto X-Craze. Blazing Cake is now in a 1v2 in bottom, so he's got to be careful. As the Encore comes through, it's going to clip X-Craze, and this goes even worse for him. Rambo is on a rampage on Seraphine. Those are words that go together, I'm sure.
You know, if there's a champion that I would associate with Rambo, it's Seraphine.
When are they going to give Seraphine a gun?
That's the next skin line. Oh dear.
They have so many edgy... Oh, actually, this is going all right. Kronos is dead to a turret shot, so shutdown goes to Blazing Cake. That's not super insignificant. It also doesn't really help change the game state. This might, though. Blazing Cake forward. Alex Kimmy just scrapping out with Zadox, but he doesn't have the damage with a Heartbreaker. Chimmy is in, just trying to do anything that he can to help out, but there's nothing happening for him, and Lucy picks up... Well, actually, Lucy doesn't pick up anything. Lucy does a little bit of damage, but it's another double kill for Alex.
In the 1v1 between Lucian and Senna, I don't like that Lucy is playing not Lucian. That makes it very difficult to abbreviate anything.
V-Bon does not win that one. Lil Fizzy with a solo kill in top lane.
What are we at in souls? We're at 56 souls.
56 souls. Our stack tracker's at 4. X-Craze is into the bottom lane looking for a pick. He's looking for Lucy. The Ignite ticking through, but the shields and heals are just way too much, and Lucy eventually picks up his first kill of the game. And now we're getting objective bounties at 14:05. I guess at 14:35, it's a 30-minute or 30-second extra.
It's a little worrying that it's at 14 minutes, and we've sort of hit the point where Senna is not really afraid of dueling anybody. Granted, that was a 2v1 against Ari. I think X-Craze could absolutely still kill Senna in an honorable 1v1, one would hope, if you land the charm and catch her up, but
I don't know that you have the burst, actually. I'm gonna say no, but maybe.
You have no resistances on Senna, and you have sustain with Fleet in your queue. That's the thing. Do you die in the charm duration? Like, do you actually get burst?
Zadox is checking out of this fight. Chimmy is going to die?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, Kimmy is just in the base. He's got the Dance of Arrows back over if he needs to, but V-Bon's here to try to help out. Lamb's Respite is actually going to buy enough time for Rambo and Kronos to get here. They're just tearing through the Pop Blossom, the exclamation point at the end of that one. It is 17 kills to 2 at 15.5 minutes. We are proxying in between the inner tower and the inhibitor tower. X-Craze is trying to do anything he can to get that shutdown on Kindred. Zadox has killed Kronos in the background somehow. Now dashes forward while he's Kindred and picks up another one. The big brain play. They fed everyone on the enemy team so that Viego can take them over and get the resets.
It's so funny. I was going to, as a meme, say, this is a Viego triple kill incoming when I saw them between the turrets, and then I didn't say it. And now I really should have.
Zadox picks up his triple kill. He's 3-3-1, and all of a sudden his scoreline looks okay, and that's really what matters. You got to get the emotional victory at some point, and we can see the plan start to come together. Yes, you kill Kindred, and then you become Kindred, and then it's unlosable.
I mean, that is the Viego plan always, isn't it? Fall behind so that every body that you steal is giga-fed, and then you're giga-fed.
Yeah, this
It's
is a little risky, though, as Alex Kimmy is here to say hello to it. The Smite actually goes the way of Zadox. They'll get the extra gold and the objective bounty from it, but they don't get the Eye of the Herald, which is a little unfortunate.
definitely an emotional victory, though. The bounty came through, and at the end of the day, you have denied... What's the other team? Diversity?
Diversity Esports.
You have denied Diversity Esports the Rift Herald.
What drink would you describe as a Lil Fizzy?
What would I describe as just a little fizzy? Like
Really
if
putting you
you...
on the spot here.
Oh, the worst part, there's like, it's that thing where my brain's just not quite getting to it. There's definitely something I'm thinking of where I'm like, oh yeah, it's that. Oh no, I'm gonna say something really weird. A kombucha. That's what's a little fizzy. Like, it's not as fizzy as a carbonated beverage, but it's a little bit fizzy.
I'll buy it. I'll allow that.
I mean, the weird thing I was going to say before that is like apple cider vinegar, but most people would not consider that like a drink for obvious reasons.
That's like one of those things you hear about rich people doing a detox. I gotta get rid of all of the toxins in my colon or whatever.
Oh,
They get a kill on Lucy. They'll actually get 2 picks. This is really nice for Mart. There's good things happening. There's some bad things happening as well. Rambo is just killing towers up in the top lane, so somebody's going to have to deal with that at some point. But it's 2 picks. It's a dragon for Return of the Middlesticks. They're not dead. They're dead, but they're not like completely gone out of this game. It's they're clawing back. It's 7,000 gold now.
they still haven't taken a tower, but I have faith they will. I think they will take at least 2 before the game ends.
Yeah.
It's my prediction.
All right. At least 2. We'll hold you to that. Vbon and Lil Fizzy having an honorable 1v1 that's turning into an honorable 1v2 that's turning into an honorable 2v2 that'll turn into an honorable 3v2 here in just a second when Chimmy gets here, but it might turn back into a 2v2 when Vbon dies. Oh, he's able to escape for the time being. Lil Fizzy, now with the collapse of Blazing Cake, has to try to retreat briefly. Zadox trying to get him low enough that he can ult. Meanwhile, Lucy just fighting it out. Lil Fizzy is able to somehow stay alive with the shield from Seraphine. Vbon with the ult kill. He got the Eternal, but the rest of his team is going to pay for that one. Charm comes through, going to land onto Rambo. X-Craze just doesn't have the damage really to layer it on through, and they lose 4. Alex Kimmy is just in mid lane right now, so this is straight up a 4v5. God, that's... when the players are so good. Like Lil Fizzy just perfectly backing out of that charm range away from X-Craze. He throws it out, and then perfectly walks back in after it. Disgusting.
What do you think it's like being that good at this game?
I don't know.
Let's be fun.
I don't think I've ever been that good at like anything in my life, but we'll see.
Same. I could not name a skill where I'm like, yes, I am comparably capable at that.
You know, you look at the job you do, you think about some things, and it's like, man, really good at weighing 50 milligrams of something into a 25 milliliter vol flask. But like, is that a skill?
Sure it is.
Can I go to the championship for that? The Lab Olympics. I mean, Sweden announced that sex is now a sport, so
Oh,
you can.
are we going to see it at the Olympics?
You can have ranked competitive sex.
What do the tiers look like for that?
I don't really want to know. I'm just glad there's an alternative to casual sex. They get 1 pick on Lil Fizzy, who is trying to clear out the Baron area. Zadox can't quite find the stun. Alex Kimmy still has Lambert's Respite available, but Doesn't look like they really want to commit. Oh, the flash forward from X-Crazy just can't quite find the charm. He can't buy one at this point in the game. Alex Kimmy with the Lamb's Respite finally up. Vbon kidnaps him and smashes him down, so they get one, but they lose 2 more in the process. This Rambo takes home a double kill. It's just Blazing Cake left alive to try to stand against the hordes of Diversity Esports.
The Seraphine flank was certainly a surprise. When a Seraphine ult appeared out of the bottom corner of the screen, I was momentarily confused. Good news, Blazing Cake got a 1,000 gold shutdown onto Gwen, so he might finally have, like, an item. A second item.
Yeah, he's got 2 mythic items, and 2 legendary items, and no mythic. I don't know exactly what the Lucian build is right now, so I'm not going to critique it in any way other than mention that. Zadox immediately just goes in and kills Lucy Heartfillet. Philia? My god.
Heartfillet?
Heartfillet. It's like Chick-fil-A, I'm assuming. Little Fizzy's going to die again as X-Craze takes him down. Little overstay from Diversity Esports. Going to cost him 2 more kills, but the map state doesn't really change as a result of that.
No, but I really need them to, kill 2 towers. We're still at 0.
They're doing their best. Unfortunately, their best not as good as Diversity Esports' best, at least thus far.
Why is blue buff glowing? What is this strange ring I'm seeing? What's changed?
So you can Ivern. Everyone Ivern now.
Everyone's Ivern now?
So when you fully upgrade your smite, the jungler, if the jungler smites it, it creates a copy for anybody else on his team to pick up. If somebody other than the jungler gets it, it creates a copy exclusively for the jungler.
Okay.
It
so
Iverns
what is the point of playing Ivern?
Ivern got a mini rework that's kind of ludicrous right now, where you can like stack your E shield and like, it's very strange. But Ivern's very good right now.
Okay, so
he lost that, but he got some trade-offs.
Different from that really awful proposed, like, I know at one point they had proposed a very minor rework for him, and everyone was like, that sounds terrible. But this sounds like it was a little more involved. Also, I guess you no longer have to worry about your jungler not giving you blue buff.
Yeah, it's a great buff to carry junglers everywhere, who would occasionally have to try to tell their team that they're more important than them. Oh, Zadox almost got into the pit. It's not going to happen there. Vbon falls. 2 kills plus the Baron. There's teleports into the base. This looks like the end of Return to the Middlesticks. X-Craze is going in kind of to stop the ports and also maybe to try to damage Nico enough that it matters. Blazing Cake has to try to defend against Kindred, but he just straight loses the auto attack fight, I'm pretty sure. It didn't even matter. It didn't come down to that because there was a Senna and a Kindred ult to keep him alive. Chimmy V5. This is the big moment that we've been waiting for. Oh, well.
Oh, we have the mandate on Seraphine now. Oh, I see. I see what we do as Seraphine, and I approve.
Yeah, Zadox and Vbon on the steps of the base. He's trying to pull everyone back into the fountain, but it's just not happening. Vbon does a little bit of damage, but he's going to fall. The Nexus falls, and Return to the Middlesticks, I believe that's going to eliminate them from playoffs. I think that there's a scenario where there's like a 4-way tie at 3 and 4, but I doubt we get that. So for all intents and purposes, that's going to be it for Crowstorm. They got 12 kills in Game 2. They had a really up and down season. I really appreciate they've overcome adversity. It sounds really cliche, but like they've gone through a lot of roster changes. They've gone through the grind of the season, and hopefully they come out better players for it, even if everything didn't go their way. I don't know how else to really sugarcoat everything.
And we can say that even in this, which was a game that was very, it was a tough one. It was always, after a certain point, an uphill battle, and they certainly didn't give up, and had some moments where you saw that, it was just a bad game. Things just slightly snowballed, but even still, they were doing it. They're much better than we are, so.
Yeah, they're significantly better than
if that makes them feel better. They're better than 2 gold players.
Well,
which also makes them better than what, like a solid 90% of the player base?
sure.
Something absurd like that?
Well, we'll keep an eye. I'm going to take a quick look at the standings and see if I can parse what we need to happen. If there is a line for us to stay alive. So we have to finish top 6. And there's 5 teams above the line. Okay, we're actually tied with N9TF Crimson and potentially with GG's. So depending on their thing.
Okay.
Do we make it? That's a big question. Okay, so we're rooting for Queemy Dweemy Uwu right now. I'm pretty sure.
I am always rooting for Queemy Dweemy Uwu.
How do the tiebreakers work? My god, doing tiebreakers live on stream. Should have prepared. Playoff.
Worded.
Game points are the second option for determining playoffs. So you need game wins, which we have 8. And TF Crimson has 8. Did we beat them head to head? Did we play them? I feel like we did. We beat them in week 1. I think we're in? As long as GG Easy loses 0-2. We need Queemy Dweemy Uwu to 2-0 GG Easy, and we're in.
Well, I believe in Queemy Dweemy Uwu.
I don't know if they're playing. They are playing right now.
Oh.
All right. Well, everybody send your hopes and prayers for Queemy Dweemy Uwu. I never thought I would be a Queemy Dweemy fan.
No, I always knew I would be.
I wonder if that's on the mainstream right now. I bet not, because that doesn't seem like it would have playoff implications, even though it does. Your stream is just starting. Okay.
So potentially.
If I play it, will it tell me? I'm getting a Diablo 4 ad before I can watch the stream. Pog?
I'm getting mythic essence out of a hex tech.
Also Pog. Nope, it's someone named Evo and someone named FME. So, we'll never know. Oh, it's Evo Blaze, and I recognize that team.
Queemy Dweemy Uwu or Riot. Sorry, or Wyatt.
Oh, Full Monkey.
Monkey.
I guess go watch Metashift and root in your heart of hearts for Queemy Dweemy Uwu 2-0. Other than that, I guess that does it for us tonight. Sorry that we started in game 2. Oh, there's a... Oh, Elliot Senpai. How do I rate them? I found them.
Frog?
Who is this? They're doing MSL. Oh, it is Queemy Dweemy Uwu. Okay, so this is the game that we need. Let me read this copy pasta, and then we'll go over there, I guess. Who could even think of contesting GSM Gold? They have the legendary Silver Spade 10 at support. He has a vast champion ocean that his mom has... He has such a vast champion ocean. My god, I'm so tired, I can't read. He has such a vast champion ocean that his mom has to pay tariffs to bring in food. Pair him with Naked Beekeeper and you have a bot lane that is so powerful it should be considered illegal. He's a man who looks ranked in the face and says, no thanks, I don't need it. You better not say anything to Seymour or you will face the full brunt of his hair-trigger temper and his rainbow KDAs. Don't even get! And then it got cut off.
Oh no.
Who knows how
Now we'll never know what we shouldn't get.
I can find it, I'm pretty 100%. Yeah. Don't even get me started on Panther 553,212. He spends as much time in the enemy jungle as he does playing ARAMs. Lastly, they have GSM Levi's. He plays top lane. I had forgotten about this. Thank you for such a wonderful post, Scrambles. Alright, we're gonna go raid Elliot, and we're gonna cheer for Queemy Dweemy Uwu. Everyone on board with that? Cool.
Who would not be on board with Queemy Dweemy Uwu?
I like this champ select. Yeah, to bring it back. I didn't say when we're casting next.
Oh well.
Oh well.